Hi everyone, welcome to 6.4. 6.4 basically it's just special products, which means that as you're going through and multiplying binomials, some of them actually have a pattern and you can use that pattern to multiply them more quickly. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a couple so that you can see. So first I'll do it using the box method, and then you will see how, there's this pattern here. So if I was to multiply 6 plus 9 by itself, x plus 9, sorry. X plus 9, x plus 9. I would get x squared here, 9x, 9x, and then finally 81. So then combining the two, x squared plus, and then there's two 9x's, so that's going to be 18x plus 81. And then this one here, y minus 7 squared. So by now, we should have, it's a 2 by 2 box, right? Because it's y minus 7 times y minus 7. So that would give me y squared here, negative 7y, and then a positive 49 here, because negative times a negative is positive. So your final answer, y squared minus 14y plus 49. So let's look at let's look at it a little bit more closely. So here, if I was to multiply them out, you notice here that the 9x happened 2 times in the box. And then you see here that the negative 7y happened in the box. And if I was to do 2x plus 3 squared, you would see that the middle two terms are exactly the same. Okay, so the first term is squared and then the last term is squared. Right, so notice that x squared, 9 squared is 81, y squared, 7, 49, 2x times 2x is 4x squared, 3 times 3 is 9. So here, so the first term would be a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, and then for minus, it's the same thing. The first term squared minus twice the product plus the last term squared. So that's the general formula. So you have the first term, 2 times the product of the terms, plus the last term. And then for minus, it's the same exact thing, except that the middle term is negative. So if you zero in on that, you square the first term, you square the last term, and then you double the product. So if we did it this way, so just in general, a plus b quantity squared is going to be the first term squared, last term squared, and then twice the product of the two terms. Okay, and if it's negative, a minus b squared, it's the first term squared, the last term squared, and then minus twice the product. Okay, so in this case, a is y and b is 11. So it's a plus b. So it's first term squared, last term squared is going to be 121. 11 squared is 121. And then in the middle, twice the product. So 11 times y. So 2 times 11 times y. So that's just going to be y squared plus 22y plus 121. So it's really nice. Okay, so again here, this one, first term squared, y squared. Last term squared is 9. It's a plus, negative 3 times negative 3. And then in the middle, it's minus. So 2 times 3y is 6y. And that's it. Okay, so see, I didn't even have to do a box. Let's try this again. So a squared plus 2ab plus b squared is, at some point you kind of memorize them. So first term squared, so I'll just do this. So this is a and this is b. So a is 4x, so it's 4x squared. Then the last term is going to be 6 squared. And the middle term is going to be 2 times the product. So 2 times 4x times 6. Sorry, it looks a little crooked there. But then your final answer is 16x squared plus, what is that, 48x plus 36. Okay, again. Okay, so first term squared, 2x squared, last term squared, plus the last term, 3y is going to be squared. And then in the middle, 2 times 2x times 3y. Okay, so that's going to be final answer 4x squared minus 12xy plus 9y squared. So one could say, well, can I just keep using the box method? Of course you can. I'm just showing you that this is a shortcut. That's the point of this section. Okay, so again, any binomial sum, right, squared is going to be square the first, you square the last, and you add twice the product of the middle terms. So again, if this is a and this is b, so this would be 4u cubed, that's your a, squared, plus the last one squared, that's just 1. And then the middle term is going to be 2 times 4u cubed times 1, which is just the same thing. So this is going to be 16u to the power 6. Remember, power to a power is multiplying, plus 8u cubed plus 1. So that's it for this one. Now let's see the here. 2x, sorry, I don't know, I jumped ahead of myself. 2x squared, okay? And then 1 squared at the end, and then plus 2 times the first one is 2x squared times the second one is 1, okay? Now, it doesn't matter, you know, if it's cubed or squared or whatever. Whatever this is, you square it, okay? So then that's 4x to the power 4 plus 4x squared plus 1. Okay, so parentheses help if you want to use this pattern. Okay, so next special product is conjugate pair. Conjugate pair is basically when you have a binomial plus or minus, and it's exactly the same thing. If you multiply them together, you get what's called difference of squares, because difference is subtraction, and it's the first term squared minus the last term squared, and it's really easy and fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And the reason that it works is because the middle, when you use a box or foil, the middle terms always cancel out. So I'll just show you one with the box so that you can believe me. So you have x minus 8, x plus 8. Okay, so let's fill this in. X squared here, this is going to be positive 8x. This will be negative 8x. And the last one will be minus 64. These cancel out. So you get x squared minus 64. So difference of squares, a plus b, a minus b, or whatever. If the minus comes first, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a squared minus b squared. So if you see this here, a is x, b is 8. So that's just going to be x squared minus 64. And that's it. It's very easy. But it has to be in the form a plus b, a minus b, you know, or maybe the minus comes first and then the next one is a plus. It doesn't matter, but it has to have alternating signs. So this is just going to be 2x squared minus 5 squared, which is equal to 4x squared minus 25. So it's really nice. People love difference of squares. Let's do a couple more for funsies. Okay, so 9 minus 2y, 9 plus 2y. Okay, it fits the pattern. So first term squared minus the second term squared. So 81 minus 4y squared, and that's it. So that's easy, right? That's really nice. So a minus b, a plus b, right? So it would be cd squared minus the second term squared. So that's just c squared d squared minus 64, and that's it for that one. One last one. Okay, so this is again 6u squared minus 11v to the 5th. 6u squared plus 11v to the 5th, so they're exactly the same. So that's a, that's b, that's a, that's b. So the product is just going to be 6u squared, all of that squared, minus, and then the second one is 11v to the 5th. That's squared, okay? So then that's going to be 36u to the 4th minus, and then 11 squared is what? 121 v to the 10th power. And that's it for that one. Okay, so to recap, you have perfect squares, perfect square trinomial, right? And then you have binomial. So these are binomial squares, and then the product of conjugates, which is the answer is difference of squares. So then you need to be able to recognize which one's which. So A would be a difference of squares because you have a minus and a plus. So then that's just going to be 2x squared minus 3 squared. So 4x squared minus 9 So for B, it's not a difference of squares. It's a binomial square. It's this one, the negative. So it's 8x squared minus 2 times 8x times 5 plus 5 squared. So that's going to be 64x squared minus 80x plus 25. So that's B. Next one, to do a different color. 6m plus 7 squared. So C is going to be a squared plus 2 times a times b plus a b squared. Okay, so that's going to be 36m squared plus, and then that's going to be, what is that, 84? 12 times 84m plus 49. And that's it for this one. And then finally D, let's choose a color, a different color. So for D, it's going to be difference of squares. Is it difference of squares? It's not, right? It's 5x minus 6, 6x plus 5. So it's not difference of squares because it's not exactly the same. So that we just have to do a box. Okay, so then we would 30x squared, 25x, negative 36x minus 30. So 30x squared minus 11x minus 30. And that's it for D. Okay. Alrighty, so that's it for this section. Good luck, happy studying, and I will see you on the next video.